If you have to move through the crowd, move through the disturbance, the most important thing that you have to do is you have to make sure that you do not look like a soft target. Look like a hard target. Look like you're going to have a problem if you come mess with me. However, do not look like someone looking for a problem, because someone looking for a problem usually attracts a problem. So you want to look like you may have a weapon in your hand and you're trying to move across. A weapon can be something, not a firearm like a knife, but like a board or a baseball bat or even an axe. Something that can be discarded in case you come across law enforcement or something like that. But if you come across another person in the riot, you look like somebody that they don't really want to test, and they don't want to have any type of confrontation with immediately. So look like a hard target. Don't look like a soft target. Soft targets are always victims. Now, remember what I said earlier. Like I said, that there's usually the static protest or riot, whatever, civil disturbance, and then there's the moving, the crowd that keeps that flows. The same is true with the gathering. So there's the peaceful protest, and then there's the violent, riotous civil disturbance, that gathering. Now, typically, the peaceful protest is the smaller gathering, you know, but peaceful protests can quickly evolve into a violent outburst, a violent protest. Violent protests typically happen with big crowds. Big crowds because there's a lot of emotion, there's a lot of energy, um, there's a lot of personalities that kind of mix and mingle with those that may be there just for peaceful purposes. And there is a saying, where you have a mob mentality, and like I said, that typically happens in the larger gatherings. So make sure that you are aware if it's a peaceful protest or if it's a violent mob. All right, make sure you stay safe.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing, man? I just want to remind you to head over to Amazon.com and pick up a book that I authored, Brave and Ready, Your Guide to Staying Safe. Brave and Ready, Your Guide to Staying Safe. This is a kid's book teaching them how to stay safe during an active shooter event. Brave and Ready, Your Guide to Staying Safe. I appreciate you. Peace.
Remember, so this is still going back to you have to move through the crowd in order to get to where you need to go. In order to move through the crowd, make sure that you are aware of your avenues of escape. Kind of have an idea of the area, the terrain, because you have to get out of there. Now, when you're moving through these this crowd, make sure that you are keeping your hands up. Make sure that you're staying alert. That you are standing on your feet. Also, you do not want to fall. You do not want to fall over, because falling over can cause you to be, if the crowd shifts real quick, it can cause you to be trampled on. If you're not alert and you're not aware of your avenues of escape, you don't want to run into like any barricades. You don't want to run any walls, any fences. You definitely don't want to come between the crowd and law enforcement, because that can cause you to be in what I like to call the kill zone. You like right in the middle, and being in those barricade situations, being up against a wall, being up against a fence, if the crowd shifts or moves a certain way, the weight of the people, of the crowd, the group, could cause you to be crushed. So, like I said, you're moving through the crowd, you're moving through. Make sure you stay alert. You get confronted, you put your hands up, show that you are not being aggressive, that you're not a threat to whomever's trying to confront you. But like I said, at the same time, it's teetering between the balance. You're not. I'm not here to fight anybody, but I'm a hard target. I'm not soft either. So, um, yeah, make sure that you stay alert, that you stay on your 2 feet, stay standing, and stay moving. The best the best rule typically in getting out of those crowds is that you're not really out of the danger zone until you're about at least two streets or two major buildings between you and the crowd. So um, yeah, understand your avenues of escape, and also avoid the barricades, the walls, and the fences. Stay safe, man. All right, so we're going to continue talking about surviving a riot and what you need to have on your person if you have to move through the crowd. First thing that you need to do is you need to have a good pair of footwear on, whether it be shoes or boots. Do not get caught wearing heels, slides, Crocs, anything like that. You want to make sure that you have a good pair of footwear in case you have to run or you have to stand and fight. Good pair of footwear is imperative. It's important. As we move up the body, the next thing that you need to have is a good can of bear spray. Good can of bear spray like OC is available in all 50 states. OC is mace, pepper spray, whatever, but it's available in all 50 states. It's legal to carry. It sprays out to about 30 feet, and I guarantee you it will get someone up off you or away from you that's trying to cause you any type of harm. The next thing you need to do is you need to worry about camouflage. The best type of camouflage that you would have to wear in a situation like that is like a hoodie. Wear a mask, one of those masks that you can pull up and down on your face, just in case you have to move through the crowd incognito. You can keep the mask up, or you come across any type of law enforcement or military personnel that's trying to quell the situation. You want to prove to them that you're not a hostile. You can take the hoodie off, pull the mask down, put your hands up. It's easy. Lastly, I would recommend you wearing a mouthpiece. The reason why I would say wearing a mouthpiece is because if you're going through a crowd and there's a lot of negative energy, hostile personalities, and they're unpredictable. Mobs are unpredictable. You don't want to be caught off guard by being hit in the face, possibly knocked out. The mouthpiece can act as a cushion. The mouthpiece can act as a means of helping you maintain your bearings about yourself. If you catch one in the face from whatever direction, those are the things that I recommend. Just kind of a short list. And you want to make sure that you are staying alert, staying vigilant. Remember, situational awareness is key. It's imperative. All right. As always, train hops, baby. Train hard, train often, train properly, and train safely. Be safe. Peace.